So I am fascinated by mediums. So can you each tell me something you learned about that skill or that profession that just blew your mind, totally surprised you?
You need Febreze inside the crystal ball. That's what I learned.
That's the thing.
That's
what I'm doing
all
wrong.
I needed to learn. Sorry.
I learned that
Ocean Fresh, the Ocean Fresh one. Sorry.
I learned that it's really important to listen to your first thought.
Oh, great answer.
And if you're doing a reading or something like that, or even just in communication in general, whatever that first thought is, that's the right one. And if you're doubting that, that's the devil. That ain't no good. That's fake news.
That feels like a good life lesson.
Yeah, well, it works.
I like that. Another thing I like from our production notes, Tiffany, there was a great quote from Justin about you. He was talking basically about how you basically nail everything you do. Everything you do works. He said whether she's flubbing a line or she's saying something that's off script or doing something you don't expect, it's always perfect, authentic, and real. So I want an example of a time on set when you thought you flubbed something but found some unexpected magic in it, and now we can see it in the final cut.
Oh, okay. So there's a part where Harriet comes back to the house, and the script said something completely different than what I ended up in the movie. So I'm talking to Owen's character, and I'm going off on him. And in the script, it says that I'm just like, I can't believe you would do this. Why would you do this to somebody? And I decided to say, your mama would be ashamed of you. I can't believe, like, so go off on her, like talking about his mom and stuff. And and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I just felt like, he was like, no, go ahead. Try it again. And, then I did the lines, and then they gave me one more chance. In the movie. And then I talked about his mama again, and his grandmama, and his ancestors, and everybody. And that's in the movie.
A lot of things. Pitch perfect. Mm-hmm. Nail it so much. All right, Jamie, for you. So we get a little line about this in the film, the idea of what it's like for her living in the crystal ball. But now I need to know more about it. So what do you think the day-to-day is like for Madame Leota in the crystal ball? What does she do during her downtime?
I think she's watching Real Housewives of all of the cities. Beverly Hills, New York, Atlanta. I think she's binging. I think she's a bit of a binger because it's, I'm fine on my own for a minute, but, she's in there for 100 years. Yeah, I think it's reality TV is her jam.
You don't think she's playing spades?
No.
I just picture her now watching reality TV in a very fresh, lovely smelling crystal ball.
Yes.
I feel like that's all she needs.
Yes.
That's all she needs. A bigger, broader question for both of you, because you both have filmographies that are down to the floor, but there are so many unique,
Mine is
charming...
longer because I'm older.
And now your filmography includes an Oscar win.
Yes, it does.
And I will say and celebrate that every opportunity I get. Thank you. What is something you both do in this movie that made even you think damn, I've never done this before, and now I have a new tool in my acting toolkit, so to speak?
Oh, I did a lot of my stunts. I did a lot, but I've done my own stunts before, but I have never rode on a barrel in the sky on a harness and then landed on my feet.
Right.
I can picture that now.
Never done that before.
I've never done motion capture. So I had to learn a lot of dialogue and then have a hand, like a neck brace holding my head still and a ton of dots on my face to capture my expressions, which then they animate. And I've never done any sort of motion capture stuff at all.
Have you ever done that you did the 360 camera?
I did the 360 camera thing.
I never had so many cameras taking a picture of me at one time, and I got to do like this.
I've done also, obviously green screen, blue screen. I've done that work before, so that wasn't new, but I'd never done the motion capture. I didn't have to wear the suit, by the way. Whenever I see the behind the scenes of Avatar and the emotional work that these people are doing, and they're just wearing suits with cameras all over them, it's astonishing to me.
Technology that fascinates me.
It's fascinating
I'm in
to me.
awe of it on every level, on the visual effects level and also the performance element of it.
But see, The visual effects level is all technology. And once you know how to do that, it's science. The performing part is not science, which is why AI will never work, really, because that is, emotions are real and they come from human beings. They don't come from machines. And so to watch beautiful actors do that kind of work under those circumstances is something very impressive to me.
I also became an understudy of the AD. I was AD 1.5. So when they would say cut, I'd be like, all right, first team out, second team in, bring in the spheres, bring them in, bring balls in, and they hold the balls.
The balls, a lot of balls.
Yes.
A lot of balls.
I've done movies with balls now, and not just those.
Yeah, they do they hold this silver sphere, this ball, and then they hold this color card next to it, and then they like stand around, they gotta kind of do it. It's cool.
I will say, no matter what your craft is, it cannot be replaced by technology. So
No.
every single department in this industry, that should be out the window, not an option. Personal questions inspired by the movie. I love the idea of a ghost wink, and I'm convinced that they really happen. So have either of you ever experienced a ghost wink? And if so, what had happened?
When my grandma passed away last year, my friend told me that my grandma would reach out to me every time I saw a white feather, that would be her saying that she's there for me, right? So like maybe a few days later, I'm in my house, I come out my bedroom and I walk into the living room. There are feathers everywhere. There's a dead bird in the middle of the floor and my cat's sitting there like, hey, would you like it? And I was like, Grandma, why would you do this? Why would you? You're messing up my house. You wouldn't want me to do this to your house, Grandma. Do not come to me like this anymore. I do not like this. And so she's been showing up in my dreams ever since. Every night.
I
still
think
like
a
it.
ghost wink is every time I look at my dog. Every time he looks at me and really looks at me, I feel like all of the sort of people I've loved are looking back at me. And I'm a little, as my people will all tell you, I'm a little obsessed with my dog. But I truly do, because you look at each other, but then when you really lock in, I feel like I'm getting a message from people that I love that they're right there and that they're with me.
Beautiful example. Mine is a red bird in my backyard, which I'm convinced is my poppy.
Okay, this necklace is really
It's everything.
beautiful.
One of the highest compliments I could get today. I cherish this thing nonstop. Thank you both for your time
Thank
today.
you.